This week we are watching the episode teaser from Star Trek The Next Generation, The Devil's Due.
To Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
You will be haunted by three spirits.
I think I'd rather not.
I'm Christmas present. Ho, ho, ho.
You may be a bit of undigested beef, a fragment of an underdone potato.
Scrooge is getting worse.
Bah humbug.
Before getting started into the scene itself, a little context. Star Trek The Next Generation is a show set in the 24th century aboard the USS Enterprise, led by Captain Jean-Luc Picard. At its core, the series is about exploration, diplomacy, and philosophy, using science fiction to examine human behavior. And no character represents that better than Data. Data is an android. He is physically and intellectually superior to human beings in many ways, but he lacks emotions. And a large part of his character is built around one goal: to understand what it means to be human. That brings us to the holodeck. The holodeck allows the crew to simulate environments, in this case Victorian London, where Data chooses to perform a Christmas carol, taking on the role of Ebenezer Scrooge. Opposite him is Jacob Marley, played by William Glover, a veteran stage actor whose career goes all the way back to the 1940s, and who a slight few may recognize as the voice of Winston, the butler from Disney's and Oliver and Company. And this is where the scene begins. We pick up in the middle of things.
You may be a bit of undigested beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato.
This version does not reinterpret Dickens, it just cites it directly. And Data delivers the lines perfectly, robotically, structurally correct, tonally measured, technically flawless. However, it is totally devoid of emotion. And the lines he speaks weren't chosen at random. In A Christmas Carol, at this moment, Scrooge isn't just insulting Marley. He's rationalizing. He's trying to reduce something terrifying into something explainable. Food, digestion, humiliation, anything but the true feelings behind it. The fear that is underneath. The fear that Data can't feel. Data understands the logic of the line. It is immediately transparent to the audience. There is no feeling behind the words, just recitation. And this is where Brent Spiner's acting choices become incredibly important, because what he's doing is extremely layered in a way that is easy to miss. He is an actor playing an android who's trying to act like a human and failing at acting like a human on purpose. That is a very specific performance. Spiner has to strip out all the emotional instinct, keep the delivery precise, and let the audience recognize what's missing. If he overplays it, Data looks human. If he underplays it, the scene becomes flat. Instead, he lands in this very controlled space where you can see the shape of the correct performance, but none of the feeling behind it. And the scene knows that. Picard actually stops the program there, not because the lines are wrong, but because the intent is missing. And this is where the scene shifts from performance to analyzation. Data explains that he's been studying method acting, attempting to understand the emotions by creating it through performance. And that is a fascinating inversion. Actors usually draw from emotion to create performance, while Data is trying to use performance to generate emotions. It is also a slight inside joke, as the Shakespearean theater-trained Patrick Stewart is getting a lesson on acting. And for Data, The Christmas Carol is actually a perfect choice for his experiment, because the entire story hinges on the emotional transformation. Fear to reflection to change. Marley introduces the fear, the spirits expand on it, and Scrooge's face to confront himself and to change. But Data can't quite access those ideas, those emotions. And Picard's response is what grounds the whole thing.
The moment that you decided to stop imitating other actors and create your own interpretation, you were already one step closer to understanding humanity.
That line reframes everything. Because Data isn't failing at acting, he's succeeding at learning what it is to be human. And this leads into an episode that is all about using the past to learn and grow past your fears.
But I am the guardian of Great Ore, where the dishonored go when they die.
Perhaps an homage to a holiday tale? Possibly. And so, what you end up with is a really interesting use of A Christmas Carol. Not as a story about change and redemption, but about the redemption of change caused by a story. And with that, we're pretty much wrapped up. A short version of A Christmas Carol for a short review. On that note, in Captain's Log. See you next time.
Now just go, but be here all the earlier the next day.
Continue, Commander. Intriguing.
Damn you, Merry Christmas.